I'm back. I'm Wendy Jo and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do a very quick tutorial on how to use Google Forms, and I'm going to go into the different types of forms that you can use, how to create them, how to customize them, so that you can use them to embed in your website. I have a tutorial here on how to set up a Google site for free, and there's just so much capability with Google Sites that I don't think people realize, including analytics to see who's visiting your site and being able to collect emails, which I also have a tutorial here on how to use Google Forms to actually capture emails from people. So if you're setting up a ClickFunnels, for instance, and you want to get people's emails in that process whenever they put in their email and they give you their name, then your response to them after you've collected their email can be a link to send them either a digital download or to send them to another site or whatever you want to do. So there's so much capability that I don't think people actually realize are inside of Google Forms. And so today I'm going to show you how I use Google Forms. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to use Google Forms. And as you can see up here at the top of this, they have docs, sheets, slides, forms. So this is the same as PowerPoint. This is the forms that we're going to go into. Sheets is like Excel and docs is like Word. And so I don't use Microsoft Word. I don't use Excel. I use all of these, and it's so nice because it's all cohesive. They all work within each other. And on top of that, I use Google Sites to build my sites, and so everything is interconnected. So we're going to go over into Google Forms, and I'm just going to show you the capabilities because they are pretty cool. So you can see here they have a template gallery. So you can use this for an invitation to a party, an RSVP, t-shirt sign up. So say you're selling t-shirts for, I don't know, a fundraiser or whatever, you can collect their information here. Here's a contact information form, and you can see I have all kinds of different things, including my subscribe to newsletter, which you can watch my tutorial on that. But I'm going to show you how to set up a contact information sheet from scratch. Now you can completely customize this if you want to, or you can start with their basic and make it what you want it to be. So I'm just going to start with the basic, and I'm going to walk you through step by step on what you can do with this form. So first of all, let's look at the appearance of it. It's pretty basic. So you can see here, you can customize your theme. And this is something new that they have added. You can actually, on Google Sites as well as inside of here, you can use your branding, your colors, all of those types of things inside of the forms, inside of Google Sites, which I love that. So if you want to upload an image, then you can just click this. You can choose one of their images, or you can upload one of your own. So I can browse in here. And I'm just going to design a full sheet for you just to show you how simple this is and that it does not take very long. Let's see. Let me see if one of my YouTube thumbnails is in here that I have recently done, and I will just make that the banner just for the fun of it. Here we go. This was just a live that I did the other day, and you can see the size that my image is too big, and it's not even going to let me do it. Let's see what it does when I actually click it. Maybe it will work. We'll see. Okay, there. So you can see that the dimensions of the image I chose are not quite right. So you would want to scale this down a little bit, but you can see I can customize this. I could put my logo here. I could design, all of my branding, and it could be right here at the top. And then what it does is it has actually picked colors from the image, and now I have a theme color based on the image I uploaded. So I think that's so cool because if you upload your brand, it's going to bring your branding color straight in, and then you're going to select what colors that this stripe is going to be and how it's going to show up in your form. So the next thing we're going to look at is, oops, let me go back into the themes really fast. You can also change your font style. So as you can see, they have the basic font, formal, not a lot of font options here, but you know, you can do what you want to. I'm going to go with the formal font. And now we're ready to get started. So this right here is your menu, and this is what allows you to embed, to change up these different slides here. So as you can see, there's the little dots here, which means that I have the option of moving these around inside the form. I also have the option of clicking on this and I can delete it. I can copy it if I want this same type of format for another slide. And then you even choose how they answer. So obviously if you're getting their name, that's the first thing. You want a short answer. It's obviously not a multiple choice or a checkbox or a drop down, but look at all of the options you have here. I mean, you can really go crazy with what you do. So there's the name one. The next one is their email, obviously another short answer, address. If you don't want to collect their address, then you're just going to delete this. We're going to take that out of there. And it's done. Phone number. You can also choose if something is required or not. When I have a contact form and I'm actually trying to collect email addresses, then what I do is I require their name and I require their email address. And as you're working on this, if you want to see what it actually is going to look like, just click the little eyeball up here. And I can see that this is what the form is going to look like when somebody receives it. They are not going to see this. They are just showing you on this form which Google account you are logged into and which Google account is going to receive the responses from your form, because you know you don't want to be connecting this to the wrong account. So that's all that is just letting you know. The little star shows that it's a required thing. So here the name is required, the email is required. I do not require the phone number, and I do not require that they make comments, and then they can hit the submit. So that is what the form is going to look like as it is. So now let's play around a little bit more with it. So this would be adding another one of the exact same thing. Okay, so we don't want that. I just want to show you what that plus button did. So if I was down here, it added a multiple choice, it looks like. Questions. So I'm adding questions is what that's doing. My mistake. It doubled the name up for some reason, but it's also adding questions. So then if I go in here, I can type a question. What did you think of the latest video? Okay. And so then if I want to do multiple choice, then I have to give them awesome, or they have to give them answers. Awesome. I have to give them awesome. It was awesome. And then if I want to add another option, it sucked. And then you can add other if you want to give them the option to write in their own answer. So that is how a multiple choice would work. Makes sense? Okay. And again, you can either require it or not require it. You can copy it. And something else you can do is you can add an image. So if I wanted a review of a specific video, let's say, I'm just, this is totally random, but then I could upload a thumbnail of the video I'm talking about and have them answer some questions about it. So maybe I have, in my community of people that follow me on YouTube and on TikTok, I want to have a few followers that are my test group, so that I can find out what they would like to know more about. So I can send this out to a select few people. A great marketing tool with this would be to, hey, go over to the link in my bio and sign up in my community, and just write in the comments that you want to be part of the test group. And then I will be able to contact you with this survey. So, I mean, there's endless opportunities here with this. So again, you've got the options here of multiple choice. Let's see, check boxes is going to be the same sort of thing, and they're just going to check whichever ones apply. You can also allow them to check more than one box. Response validation. You can shuffle. So a lot of times, psychologically, people say, oh, well, people always choose the second answer or whatever. So you can actually shuffle the option order. Every time somebody answers questions, it'll shuffle the order of the questions that they're, answering for you. Drop down menu, basic thing. They're going to drop down and choose something. file upload. So lets respondents upload files to your Drive. So this is going to be connected to your Google Drive. So if you're sending this out to someone, say that you made this a contact form that you have on your website that's embedded, and you're working with a client and they're going to send you a book that they wrote and they want you to proofread it for them, or they're going to send you something. This allows your person that you send this form to upload a file to send to you, to share with you on Google Drive. So the files will be uploaded to the form owner's Google Drive. Respondent will require to sign into Google when file uploaded questions are added to a form. Make sure to only share this form with people you trust, because they're going to be able to upload files to your Drive. So they're not going to have access to your Drive, but it will upload files to your Drive. So if I do that, hit continue, then I can ask them questions, tell how many files they're allowed to send, the maximum size of the file, and I can even choose which file folder it's allowed to go to. So this form can accept up to 1 gigabyte of files. So you can see, again, say that you don't have a standalone e-commerce store and you do digital editing for people, and they are sending you a photo that you're going to digitally edit for them and send back to them. This would work for that. So there's so much capability within these forms beyond just a contact information type form. Let's see. Here's add a video. I love this. I can actually add a video onto my form from my YouTube channel. So if I search Wendy Jo Davis on YouTube, here I am. And so let's say I wanted to embed my full print on demand tutorial, and that is going to be in the contact form, full on demand tutorial, and it's just going to be part of the form. So again, maybe you're sending this out as a survey and you're like, hey, I want you to take a look at this video, and then I want you to answer a few questions about it. And if you do, I'm going to send you a, $5 Starbucks gift card, or I'm going to send you a, $10 gift card to purchase something in my shop, or a discount code for my store, or whatever. Like, does that make sense? So there's a lot of options you can do with this. Or maybe you just want to have a form where you are able to, send videos to people. I guess you could just, you could embed this on your site with your videos. I'm not really sure what the purpose of that would be, but anyway, endless opportunities here, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna delete this one, and I can import questions. So this is where, if I have already created a form and I want to import questions that I've already used on another form, I can do that. So it keeps track of all your forms. And then here is just add another section. So this is section 1 with their name, section 2 here. And the reason for doing this really would be if you were doing a survey, multi sectioned type thing. So part 1 is going to be their name and their email address. And then part 2 is going to be, how did you find us, or whatever. And then part 3 here, watch this video. Part 4, answer these questions for me. So it can be as intricate or as simple as you want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this section just to make it more simple. I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to add this, drag this up here, and then instead of this being a question thing, I want it to actually be a short answer. And actually, let's see, does it actually have an email? It has a date and time. So this is where they can, put in date and time. Let's see. Short answer. I deleted the email one, and so email address, and I'm going to have a short answer, and I'm going to make it required. So that's all I did there, is just made it back to email address. So if you accidentally delete the one that says email address, just go back in and type in the question, email address, short answer text, and then make sure it's required. And then you can just double check it again. Remember here, and there it is. Name, email address. That's it. And so The other thing I will say is responses. So when people start filling out your form, this is where your responses are at. And again, I showed you guys this in the other video that was all about using this to capture people's email addresses. But the other thing you can do is as you get responses, you can create a spreadsheet from your responses, and it will just put it all out beautifully in a spreadsheet for you, with dividing everything into columns of all of the things that you have selected for it to tell you. So name, email address, phone number, their responses to the questions, all of that will be in a spreadsheet for you to access. And this all gets stored in your Google Drive. You get 15 gigabytes of storage inside of Google Drive. And then if you need more than that, then you can upgrade. And it's like $1 something a month to upgrade. It's not very much, but most of the time I don't have any issues with storage. I do a lot of videos, and so I have to just make sure I delete videos out of my Google Photos, because it stores Google Photos and Google Forms and Google Sites, and everything is all stored on your drive. So it can take up space if you do a lot of video footage and those types of things. But, and again, here's some settings that you can do. Make this a quiz, assign point values, set answers, and automatically provide feedback. So, I mean, even as like, I don't know, if you're homeschooling and you want to be able to give a quiz, I'm not really sure. Manage how responses are collected and protected. So here is where if you turn collect email address on, then there's no reason to add that email thing. It will automatically add it for you. Allow response editing. Responses can be changed after being submitted. This is kind of up to you what you do on this one. I typically say no, and I limit it to one response, but you can allow people to edit it if you want to. That's completely up to you. Presentation. Manage how the form and responses are presented. Show a progress bar. So that means that, like, here, I will show you what that means. Confirmation message. This is, I'll show you that in a second. This is where you can edit what when they finish it, then this is what it will say to them at the end. Show link to submit another response, disabled by limit to one response. So if you wanted to be able to respond more than once, then you turn off the limit to one response, and then they can submit another response. So I mean, there's all kinds of options in here. Form defaults, question defaults, and this is where, let me show you on this. Thanks for submitting your contact info, but you can say whatever you want, and then you can even add that link in there. And this is where, you know, depending on where you're wanting to send them, you can add them a link to your YouTube video, a link to your TikTok, a link to your free ebook download. The way that I link to my free ebook is my ebook is stored inside of my Google Drive. And so when I link to it, I can actually set up a shareable link inside of Google Drive and then share that link in here in the response. So once they finish the survey or answer my information questions, then they get this response with a link to my free ebook. And it says, enjoy a free copy of my ebook. And then I put in the link, save it. And so when they respond, that's what they're going to see, is this plus a link to my ebook that they can click and download for free. So that's pretty much it. It's really simple to use. When you are ready to actually share this or embed it in your Google site, you're going to hit the send button, and it's going to give you options. You can send it as an email to whoever you want. You can send it as a link. So here is your link that you can, when you embed in Google Sites, you can embed it as HTML, which is this, or you can embed it as a link, either way. And it's going to give you a preview of what it looks like. So this is the link if you want to embed that on a website, or maybe you want to embed it as a link in your link in bio or something like that. If you're wanting to do a survey maybe of your followers. And then this is where you would get the HTML code to actually embed it. And you can even choose what size you want it to be to embed in your website. And once you have it set, then you'll highlight it, hit that copy button, and you can go embed it. You can also share it to Facebook or Twitter if you're wanting to get your followers' opinion without having their email or, you know, no way to reach out to them. You can post it here, and then it's going to collect their email address, collect their name, so that you can reach out to them in the future. So this is pretty much how all of this works. It's very simple to use, And again, if you go watch my video on how to use Google Sites, which is how you can set up a website for free, and then you can embed this into your contact information tab at the top, and you're all set. So I hope this helps. Again, as always, if you have questions, put them in the comments below. I do my best to get on here a couple times a day and just respond to people's questions. And if you would like a specific tutorial about something, let me know and I will create it for you. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time with another tutorial on making passive income.